and it's live. Right, okay. So
Could you hear that all right?
it's kind of quiet.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Right. Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the FPL Good.
Wait, what? Okay.
Let me talk. Let me talk. Right. Okay. Welcome back. Don't play it again.
Okay. Say what you're saying first.
Let me talk. Shut up.
Jesus, this is terrible again.
Right. Let's go for the fourth time. Okay. Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the FPL Good Guys. We've got all three of us today. My internet connection's holding up a little bit better than it was last time, so I've managed to make my way here. We're going to summarise our game week 8 and look ahead to game week 9, the kind of players we might want to buy, and our differential punts of the week, or whatever we've titled that.
Oh shit! Yeah, that thing again. Yeah, of course. I'm looking forward to it.
So yeah,
the spreadsheet and all that stuff.
I'm not going to ask you how you both are.
Ooh, I can't wait to show you that. Actually, I did some work. I did some extracurricular activities.
Oh.
And I jazzed up our differential of the week spreadsheet thing a bit.
Well, to be fair, that's one of our first topics. Let's get into that because we've rejigged it up where we do that shape before we do our own shit.
Oh man, no.
So excited.
You can't
You were so excited to show it us, and then I basically said, "Go on, show it us now." Then you just went, "Oh."
You just asked him to do the most laborious shite that he's ever done.
Well, you know, I was ready to not have to do any work, but then I was going to do work.
You start claiming, I've done a load of extracurricular activity, and then on the podcast itself, you can't be asked to do the bare minimum.
Okay, all right. Well, it's just dramatic effect. There we are.
Anyone who's unaware of what this is, essentially myself, Dan, and Barham, BV rather, cover. We've got one in early on. We cover who we think is going to score the most points within the next game week from players that are below 10 million in value. So
you know what I've just clocked? I don't know if Skype is going to record. You know, obviously my name on the Skype.
Oh yeah, it so is.
Just blatantly out there. Is there a way I can change that? No.
That's what it is.
Anyway, move on with the show. People are listening.
Yeah.
All right. This is what I did. So BV has written a script to auto calculate these stats on the left. So,
there's just one S in Isaac.
All right, come on. I've done all this work. And this... Is it double A? Or what?
No, just
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Now we're ready to punch in scores.
So yeah, let's punch in some numbers. Right. Okay. So what did Isaac get? He got 9.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, your choice of Trippier.
5, right?
5.
Yeah. And Kinsella got 9.
Kinsella got 9. Right. Now I enter that. And nothing's changed. Okay. Oh no, because it doesn't know who to give the points to. Because we've got 9 for Cancelo and 9 for Isaac. So who actually won?
Well, we should both be green as joint first.
I'd like to make a precedent rule. How about this? How about in the case of a draw, you go to lowest owned? Because then it's actually a differential.
Yeah. Let me guess. Isaac has less ownership than Cancelo.
It makes sense. It makes sense because there's no point.
Wait. So we're fine, BV. Let's say you win this particular week. That doesn't actually affect things long term, does it?
No.
All right. Well, fine. Yeah, it's not really a problem.
Okay, so Dan, you came second.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because then it should be a factor that you take into account when you pick your player. Like, if they draw,
Yeah.
By ownership.
Yeah, just so long as it doesn't affect things long term, because that'd be peak as well.
What do you mean? How do we know if it's going to affect things long term?
Well, no, I thought you might like change the point or something. I don't know. That's fine.
How do I? Why is it so?
Am I still on single figures? Does that say 5 points? Does that say 5?
Yeah.
I'm not on
Well,
Oh,
5.
it's just for this.
It's
There must be an
because-
error in yours.
No. It's because that's the only. It's points that this is correct. So you got one correct, and that scored 5 points.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, well, it's actually...
Yeah. That was my thing. It does it by like actually figuring out who.
Oh. Big up
Oh,
Pascal.
so you only get points when your player's correct.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh,
That's why
God.
That's why I'm
Okay.
on 16, and now hopefully.
This seems like quite a revolutionary rule change, which just seems to be taken as a given.
Oh, yeah, no, actually, that does affect things quite a lot then, if only you're getting the point.
Well, yeah, especially Joe. Obviously, Joe, you're probably the worst off on that rule change. Looking at your column,
Yeah.
luckily
That's
you got
not how
the
we're
5
scoring
points
it, is it?
above
We're
Gross.
adding them all up, right?
You didn't even get
How-
Perisic's 6. You just got Gross's 5.
I mean, you can. The total of us all is still at the bottom.
Oh, there you are, Joe's. Fucking last.
The total is still there. It's just
Well,
Right.
yeah,
of our ones which.
Sure. Look, I don't really care. So long as it's inputted, let's just... There it is. Should we do our ones for next week?
now BV has more wins than anyone. Well, it's after his little fucking rule.
Yeah,
Right.
But I'm still king of points.
I'm ready to pick my one for next week if you guys are.
Okay. What is it?
James Madison, I'm going to go for next week.
I need to see the fixtures next week to make a decision.
James Madison has got Nottingham Forest at home.
I hope he isn't the king of the game week.
And I'm actually debating captaining him in my team. Because Forest are pretty dire defensively and Leicester need a win. They'll have had an international break to rethink things. I think they might come back with a bit of a vengeance, and Madison's usually at the heart of Leicester's attacking things. So, yeah.
We haven't even gone through the fixtures. I don't even know who's playing who.
Yeah, we should probably have a talk. You've jumped the gun a bit there, Joe.
Well, you didn't stop me.
Well, you just shot it. I mean, we didn't have the chance.
Yeah, you didn't give us a chance. You
Just
just
go
forced
ahead and
yourself
say
apart.
it. And he went, yeah, who is it? So then I said.
Yeah, but now you said it. I don't really feel like you should.
Yeah, I feel like you've mentally assaulted us. Yeah.
All right. You guys feel free to
Let's just
think.
delete that. Let's just delete that.
Oh, fucking hell. I haven't got time.
I might pick Madison actually this week. No, all right. Dan, read us the fixtures then.
Oh, and we can't pick plays we've already picked, can we?
I'll list off the fixtures I know are happening. So we've got.
Guys, can you answer my question? We can't pick plays
Yeah,
we've already picked.
No. Yeah. Right. So we've got Fulham at home to Newcastle. We've got Crystal Palace at home to Chelsea. We've got Man City versus Man United. Man City at home. There is.
Are you reading these off in an order? 'Cause it seems to be-
Aston Villa are away to Leeds. I'm just listing the ones I know. Oh, it's the North London derby. Arsenal versus Spurs.
There's Bournemouth versus Brentford, Chelsea versus Crystal Palace,
Said that one.
Brighton versus Liverpool, Southampton versus Everton, Wolves versus West Ham, Leicester v Forest.
That's part of the reason why Zuma was highlighted is because he's playing against Wolves who don't score goals.
Oh, the fucking cat fiddler.
Why don't you pick Zuma?
Because I think Madison will score more than
I think you
Zuma.
should pick Zuma.
Do you? That's nice. I'm picking Madison.
Zuma's well going to be king for the game week now. Yourself.
Oh, why don't you pick Zuma then, Dan?
No, God, am I fucked?
All right.
So which fixtures jump out to you guys as ones to target based off of what you've just heard?
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
I think Brentford v Bournemouth.
I was thinking that too. I was looking at Ivan Toney, but Bournemouth's new manager is taking a very more sort of defensive approach to football than Scott Parker.
Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
Which is making me dislike the likes of targeting them. Although I will, but don't like it as much.
I don't think they're the team to aggressively target like people think they are. The games they've lost were to Man City, Liverpool, and Bournemouth, and they've beaten Villa, they've beaten someone else, they beat Forest, and then they've drawn their other games. So they've actually not been bad.
Yeah, the manager still got sacked.
The manager still got sacked. So I don't think. I mean, they're not good. They're not a good team, but they're not one to, bring loads of people in and captain.
What do we think about Leeds versus Villa?
I think a good attacking fixture for assets of either of those teams. Yeah. I do have Leon Bailey, and he is on my bench because of just minutes risk, really. But yeah, I don't mind Bailey this week. I can see him doing something. But yeah, minutes.
Also see Sinistera maybe getting on the score.
Maybe.
Oh, if Bamford's back, Bamford would be a nice shout.
Bamford is a solid. I think he is back.
Bamford's actually underperformed his XG quite a bit this season, so he's due.
Or he could just be off it.
Nah, he's due.
Leeds have just come off the back of a 5-2 loss to Brentford. So, I mean, they're not looking particularly defensively solid. Yeah.
Because they didn't play. The last game was game week 6 for them.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've had a long time to.
Jesus, they've had like a 6-week break.
But I suppose that it could mean a couple of things. It could mean they're out of the routine, and so they'll come back not really know what they're doing, or they might have a lot of time to rest and recover.
What's Southampton's form like?
Not great. You target Southampton.
Because Gordon, could he? Oh, he's not playing as striker anymore, is he? He didn't in the last game.
Who did play as striker?
Mope. Mope scored, actually. Mope could be an option.
Yeah, that done.
So what fixtures are standing out for you?
Well, all the ones. I mean, I usually do. I like the idea of targeting Leicester. Issue is they're playing Forest.
Forest striker, he could score.
Yeah, could be Gibbs White, Brennan Johnson.
Gibbs White, Brennan Johnson. Yeah, honestly,
there's the guy with the Y in his name.
Awani. Awani. Yeah, he's got he's put up quite a lot of XG recently. He's a minutes risk though, is his problem.
Is Bamford fit? Is he a minutes risk?
We've just been...
Yeah, but is he like a risk?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always a risk. He's a walking horse with one leg. I'm looking at the goals imminent table. Bowen. So I'm looking at the cheaper options. Obviously, we've got De Bruyne and Salah on there. But we've got Solly March. He's not
playing Liverpool.
We've got Bowen, though. West Ham.
Playing Wolves.
What do we see there? We see a Bowen chance coming out.
I think Wolves games are likely to be low scoring for both teams. So I don't think you back Bowen particularly this week.
Darwin Núñez is on there, 8.9 mil. He's in range for us.
Could be a fun pick, to be honest. Brighton, new manager, they might be out of sorts.
Yeah, or they're gonna have a new manager bounce, but that might make them title contenders. They're already Champions League contenders. New manager bounce.
They just keep bouncing.
We've got Saka in there. Could he do something in the North London derby?
Might make Kane an option because he quite likes the North London derby, doesn't he?
Yeah, but
as does Son, I think, actually. But they're both above 10 mil.
yeah. Quite significantly not. They're very much premium.
I think picking a Liverpool player would be nice. I'd like to pick either Matip or Darwin Núñez. Issue is, I don't know how Brighton are gonna be. To be honest, it's too much of an unknown for me to risk my differential pick on this. Yeah, targeting Leicester is hard this week because you can't really.
Forest might not necessarily. They could score some goals against Leicester.
Forest have been very lucky defensively. I feel have they actually? Have they?
No, they've not. They've conceded 6 in the last 2 games, and actually their XG prevented is now in the negative as a result of it. They've at one point in time they were, but they've shipped goals like a motherfucker lately.
I would not want to own a Nottingham Forest defensive asset.
Yeah, anyone who does, mate, absolute moron.
Well, you know, sometimes you just got to ride the wave. You know, as a Dean Henderson owner.
How do I feel?
What are you thinking, Dan? I heard you weigh in a little while.
Well, I'm thinking potentially either a 1 in a year.
Just a 1 year.
Diaz. Oh, no, I'm not picking up now. I'm thinking either Gordon or a 1 year.
A 1 year is a minute's risk. I'll just bring that up.
Is he?
Yeah, just have a look at the minutes he's been getting in recent games. I shouldn't have warned you about that. But, you know, I'm playing the Good Samaritan. What was your direction? Gordon. Who Everton playing? Southampton. Yeah, it could be all right. But you are picking a player that you own, which I think might be a bit of karma.
When I picked James, who was a player I owned, he scored 0, so I got 0 in the thing, but I ended up topping the good guys for that week, I think.
No, like Madison's actually a really good shout now I think about it more and more. Like, the Nottingham Forest are terrible. And Leicester, I mean, they're also terrible, but they always score. You know, their games start 1-1, as they quote is famously. And surely it's got to be Madison. Is Jamie Vardy within budget for this? I know he's a minute's risk, but
He's actually got quite a lot of predicted points this week. I don't know if he's in budget or not. I'll have a quick.
Yeah, he's 9.2. He's in budget.
Was well in budget. There you go.
For Vardy or Daka, I don't know who will start. I feel like because of the long ass break they've had. What's Leicester's next game, by the way?
Bournemouth.
Days apart, is it?
Bournemouth after Forest.
How far away is it? Is it a week? They got a whole week recovery.
I don't know. They're not in Europe, are they, Leicester?
No. It's not a midweek game or anything, is it? A lot of games are on Amazon Prime soon. They might be mid game.
Callum Wilson could be a shout.
Yeah, I also thought about that.
Leicester are playing Forest on Monday of this week.
And so then when are they playing?
So they're the last game of the week. And then game week 10, they're playing on Saturday. So it's a Monday to Saturday break. You guys are taking your time here, not gonna lie.
I'm going Jamie Vardy.
Nice. That's pretty good. I don't mind
that. Is Wilson declared fit?
Wilson will play, in my opinion.
But they'll probably wrap him in cotton wool and bring him off early. I'm just imagining how unengaging this content is.
Yeah.
Brought some points up though.
Yeah, I'll say I'm not picking Gordon. I won't pick a 1 year then. I'll pick fucking Wilson.
Okay. Ooh, that also means you're all locked out of Well, I'm locked out of Jamie Vardy again this season. You're locked out of Madison and.
You picked Wilson for Fulham away.
Fuck it, I'll pick Madders.
I've picked
'Cause-
Madison.
He's already picked Madison, you know. Bud.
Oh, we can't pick someone else has picked.
No, how would that work?
And were you about to pick Wilson over Madison anyway? That's weird.
Well, no, because I was planning on being different. No, plus, realistically, the reason I wouldn't pick Madders is because, you know, I am a hopeful Dean Hendersoner.
Right, Wilson.
Oh, fuck it, I'll pick Gordon. Yeah, because
Oh
it's
my
fucking
No,
Gordon.
go on. You picked Wilson.
No,
I'm saving
switching.
you from that.
No.
There's no way you're picking Gordon. Surely not.
You picked Wilson, Dan. You reached the Wilson conclusion. You can't change your mind.
Go on. You said about Gordon. You said he didn't start striker.
But he's picked Wilson, BB. Pop it down.
Yeah. Come on. There we go. Right.
Okay.
I have fucking Gordon in my team. I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, you should feel good about it, considering he was very nearly your non-premium king of the game week just now. No? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I zoomed you out. To be honest, I don't know what he said. I'll send it in the spreadsheet.
Oh, fuck it. Right, okay, so, well, now we've got that riveting segment completed. Let's move on to, or should we move on to future chat? I feel like people don't care about what's already happened.
Yeah, I mean, as a side note, we can probably improve to make that segment more engaging and fun in future episodes.
Yeah, maybe having our picks pre-planned could be a good
Yeah.
one.
I mean,
Yeah.
mine took me the best part of 2 seconds. I think I'll put most of the blame on you two.
Yeah, but you'd put thought into it. We
No, not really.
well, you put thought into the game week. I have no idea. I'm sitting there right now on this.
Wait,
pod.
Joe hasn't put thought into the game week. He was telling me before this call how he hadn't really thought about much.
Yeah, I've not thought about anything. I just know that Madison's got Forest at home, so I was like, oh, go on then.
But, you know, as FPL experts, it's our duty to continue with the podcast on fourth.
Right.
Expert away.
Okay, so what's some decent talking points? So Isaac's injury, who are our replacements? So obviously,
Off the top of my head, there's
Yeah.
two options:
go.
Solanke and Tony, and Wilson. Three.
And not Mitrovic.
If you haven't got Mitrovic, what the hell are you doing?
I think I'm going to buy a Mitrovic for... I haven't got Mitrovic yet. Hey, I'm actually
That's a
above...
prime example, bro.
I'm above you now.
Well,
in
I mean, yeah.
In the mini league.
But having Isaac instead of Mitrovic worked last week, so fair play.
Broken clock is right twice.
Yeah, realistically, I can't afford. I can't afford Ivan Toney. I can't afford Callum Wilson. I can
Really?
afford.
They're the same price as Isaac. It's just in a
No.
Tony's more expensive.
Tony 7.2. Okay, Isaac is a sell price of 7. I have no money in the bank. I can't afford that.
Did you buy it, man? What has he gone down? It was 7.1.
Yeah, but he's
It's
a
a sell
sell
price.
price at 7.
Because Dan bought him at 7.
Did I buy him at 7?
Right, so let's talk about some pros and cons about his potential replacement, shall we?
Yeah, and let's include Mitrovic in this list.
Okay, well, yeah. Mitrovic is probably number one candidate. He's racked up a bunch of XG. He's on pens. Fulham are looking really good, especially at home. They've got a few home fixtures coming up. They've got Newcastle. They've got a Bournemouth game coming up as well.
Do you think what do you think the chances of Newcastle keeping a clean sheet are?
Pretty low.
I'm not starting my double defense.
Oh yeah.
mean,
It's Fulham
Dan,
at home. Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember, Dan? That was marked as a red fixture. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm currently starting my double Newcastle defense because it's either Ward in goal. To be fair, Forest at home. No, what Forest score?
Can I put a
So,
new
yeah.
quote out there?
Go
Fulham games at home start 1-1.
Oh.
Oh. Wait, let's fucking validate that, shall we? Okay, so the first home game, Liverpool 2-2. Okay, that was 1-1. At a point, the other home game there was a 3-2. Then there was a 2-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that it? There's only been 3.
Yeah. And they've all been very good results. So that's why I quite like the Fulham boys for this week. So I'm starting Pereira.
To be fair, for Fulham, apart from Wolves away in game week 2, which was 0-0, all the other games, both teams have scored at least 1 goal.
Oh, that's my bet sorted this weekend. Both teams to score. Fulham and Leicester.
Well, then maybe that's why Callum Wilson might not actually be a terrible pick if Fulham tend to concede.
Yeah. That's what he's an option to do wise up to.
To be fair, I'd quite like to buy him if I could afford him, so I won't be buying him. To be honest, guys, my personal decision has basically been made for me by the fact that I can't even afford Watkins. Not that I'd want him. How much is Wilson? Yeah. I can't afford Callum Wilson. I can't afford Ivan Toney. I couldn't even afford Watkins if I wanted.
Well, I suppose then
you can't afford anyone over 7.
Yeah, so you've got the Mitrovic-Solanke debate. Now, have you put any thought into Solanke? The only reason I mention is because Solanke has got the Leicester fixture in game week 10, which on the surface is the best fixture in the league at the moment. Solanke's their main man. He's also on penalties. He's effectively on, just looking at it on the face of it, the same as Mitrovic in terms of his role in his team. It's just that Mitrovic is better. He plays in a better team. But Solanke is cheaper, and he's got really good short-term fixtures. So it just depends how well you'd use that extra money.
I wouldn't use that extra money well. Not at the minute.
I saw a quote from Black Riser, from the FPL Wire that said if you could basically go into a lab and hand pick fixtures for someone to have over the next 4 or whatever, you look at Bournemouth's and you're like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Brentford, Leicester.
Yeah, Brentford, Leicester, Fulham, Southampton.
Yeah, that's just right now. That's just the one. I mean, if you could chuck Forest in there, maybe.
Yeah, no, offensively, especially, they're really nice.
Yeah. I think I'm sold on the Solanke front because, I mean, I'd like Toney, but I like how Solanke gives me money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go to Solanke because I do have a front 3 that I'm happy with. However, on the Bournemouth picks front, I am considering Philip Billing, who's making some nice runs into the box from midfield, vis-a-vis Ilkay Gundogan almost. That's the way I'm sort of seeing him playing at the moment. He's
What's he saying on XG?
He's 5.3 mil. I've not looked at his XG, but I've essentially just seen him arrive in quite good positions.
I mean, I guess it.
Sorry, Dan. Yeah, no, he's cheap, and I can go to him from Miguel Almiron, who I'm just sort of realised is just a bit of a shit pick, so I'm getting rid of him.
Oh, have you still got Miguel?
Well, I got him on my wild card. I've not still got him.
Why did you talk us through that? Actually, you weren't here for your wild card.
Well, he had Bournemouth at home, and he's getting quite a lot of XGI. But I failed to account for the fact that he's quite bad at football.
To be fair,
you were sold on him on that.
Bournemouth at home, I thought was the dream fixture. I was going to go.
After 1 week, you want to transfer out your pick for them.
No, I'll do it next week. When I bench boost. But
I mean, your Almiron is basically my Gordon. You know, when you're picking cheap players, that's probably not going to be great.
But sorry, go
on the Solanke, before we get too far gone. Just coming back to what Berham said about I mean I guess about the price, because the one thing is, even if you can't use the money right now, you may find that you end up using it next week, and I guess it's about looking at points per million, that fucking stat, because technically you should be aiming to get maximum points per million from all your players. So would you argue that Solanke's better points per million than Mitrovic?
We don't know what he's going to produce. Is he likely to be? Don't know, but it depends what.
Oh, what a great answer.
But it
for the
depends. No,
FPL
no, all right.
quiz.
I'll give you a good answer. I'll give you a good answer.
No.
It depends what points per million improvements you could create elsewhere with the money that you'd save from Solanke.
Solanke is not a better option in any regard than Mitrovic.
Yeah.
Because across the long run, he's not like, as in Mitrovic is just someone you play and he's just your set and forget until he's injured or until something drastic happens at Fulham where they, I don't know, teams figure out how to stop Mitrovic or something. Right now, you just play him as in he's the best, most informed.
Yeah, and his
Right,
XGI,
his
his underlying stats, his actual stats. I mean, I think also one thing that doesn't help Solanke is the fact that, he's Solanke. He's not a good footballer.
Yeah, well,
He did score 29 goals in the Championship last season. He's not, he's not an idiot.
Mitrovic scored what, 45 was it?
Well, yeah, but he's a freak. And well done,
Oh, well, I'm gonna buy the.
well done, Mitrovic. And yeah, I guess if it's Mitrovic Solanke, I'm not telling you that Mitrovic is worse than Solanke, but Solanke's no mug. 29 goals in the Championship doesn't come around a lot. Like usually that's the top scorer in the Championship. But I mean, Mitrovic was just really good. But yeah, so Solanke's outscored, like the Pookies of years gone by, and he's been an exciting pick in FPL for periods. So if Solanke's got good fixtures, I think he's got decent potential to be exciting. So that's why he's an option.
So Bournemouth have a minute per XG. So this is basically how many minutes of football have to be played for them to rack up 1 XG. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And their minutes per XG is 205.
Oh my day!
Oh, that
2.1 game.
That's awful.
An expected goal of 1.
Across the whole season, is it?
That's so far, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going with Solanke.
They're playing counter-attacking football, aren't they?
Also got an XG of 3 across 8 weeks, but they scored 6
Who?
goals.
Who was that?
Bournemouth. They've overperformed by 2.7 XG.
They scored 3 against Forest. They got 1 against Newcastle.
Oh yeah, like that's the thing. Forest, XG wise, Forest were really, really poor against Bournemouth. I can't believe that they were 2-0 up first. As a Dean Henderson owner, that was appalling. Like to concede 3, and for XG wise, because obviously BV, were thinking, and yeah, Forest were overperforming X goals conceded. But like the Bournemouth as example, I mean, that was a howler. I'm just praying. I'm just praying at this point as a Henderson owner.
They've been lucky so far. They've been lucky.
What, Forest?
With the clean sheet they got against West Ham.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's been well cancelled out by now, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, you had the penalty saves as well. From a Henderson standpoint, absolutely not.
But that's just because he does what he does. But yeah, I'm just praying. The only reason I have him is because I'm just praying. I'm living on a prayer.
Yeah, that's a good way to play FPL. We don't come with insight and analysis. We just hope.
Yeah, this is coming off the back of the highest performer out of those 3 last week.
Yeah, just goes to show how powerful variance is, guys.
Yeah,
living on a prayer.
It's a game of luck sometimes.
Just discredit.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm doing better, it's a game of luck. When you're doing better, it's a game of skill and tactical analysis.
To be honest, he's beating you overall now.
I have quite a good not love. Oh God, I take that back. I have quite a good sort of emotional attachment to Bournemouth because I used to play with them in career mode. So I had feeling. You know what? I'm just scanning the squad and I'm just looking at these boys like, yeah, go on.
Which boys excite you from a career mode standpoint?
Back when they used to be in the Prem. So this must be what, FIFA 20 maybe.
Yeah.
I liked Cook. Cook was a solid like 79 rated boy in midfield.
He's not there anymore, is he?
Yeah, he's still there. Billing, obviously, good potential. Jefferson Lerma or Lerma.
Oh, I was thinking about Lerma.
Who did they have? They had the American. He's either American or Welsh. Memphis or Mempham.
Metham, Chris Metham.
Metham,
He's a
something like that.
centre back, isn't he?
Yeah, he was solid. He was solid.
So how do we relate this to an FPL standpoint?
To be fair, I
Just
didn't cut
wasn't
him off
very
before
biased.
because I actually think it's more engaging content than our fucking non-premium segment. Not that that can't be. It's just that today I think that was really
I
dry.
just prefer these calls to just be chats of us, just chats.
Like for
Why
example, in the other
waste our
podcast,
time?
when BV said he'd take Zaha instead of Neymar, that was just quite entertaining because it was just like, I don't know.
I just
But
prefer these to be chats.
we dabble, we're rough around the edges. But let's talk about something else now.
Alright, let's get off board. Okay, so where do we all stand on picking Solanke? Right, Dan, what are your views on Solanke?
I'm just gonna bag Mitrovic and run for the hills.
Yeah. But if you had Mitrovic and you had Haaland,
well, I also have Kane, and I'm not trading out Kane for Solanke.
Play the game, Dan. Play the
this is
game.
a hypothetical.
Okay. I think the biggest downside to him is I don't think he's a good footballer.
So,
But for 5.7 million, he's a worthwhile punt. If you're the sort of fellow who wants to do that, because he's got great fixtures. And to be fair, I do. You back the fixtures. You don't target the man. You target the fixtures. Oh, that reminds me. I feel like Harvey Specter when he said, don't play, you play the man." You're
giving the opposite advice of Harvey Specter.
Yeah. But this is my Harvey Specter man. I'm telling to you, don't play the player, play the. I was going to say play the man. That don't play the player, play the fixture.
Okay.
That's so sick.
Okay. Right, moving on.
Wait,
Joe?
what do you think, Joe? It's your go.
Well, with Solanke, I mean, yeah, he's not going in my team. I've got a pretty solid front three. But would I get him? Do I think he's a good option? Yes, I think he's a decent option.
So you would get him. He's just not going in your team.
He's not going in either of your teams. He might go in my team. He might well actually go in my team.
Oh, you've persuaded yourself. How come? How come you'd go with him over Mitrovic, or do you already have Mitrovic?
I already have Mitrovic. I need a striker, and I need some money to go up from De Bruyne to Salah. So,
who's your third striker?
Isak.
Oh, were you getting back on the Salah bandwagon?
I'll be getting back on the Salah bandwagon at some point. And if I don't, then cool. I'll have 1.8 mil in the bank. So lovely. Money.
Nice.
Can't say no to money.
I could have done with rolling the transfer if only Isaac hadn't done what he's done.
Yeah, well, it wasn't in the plan, but it's what it is. But
because then if I had a transfer rolled, because I need 2 transfers to get to Salah, De Bruyne up, but I need to take someone else down a little bit. If I could have rolled this, would have been the plan, I guess, and then I can always whip it out.
Okay, so now, would you play? Well, let's just get to my dilemma then. Would you play Solanke against Brentford, or would you play either of Emerson against Wolves? So you're backing Kurt Zuma.
Won't play Emerson. He didn't play, did he?
No.
Oh yeah, he played a minute, didn't he?
That's not good.
So probably wouldn't pick Emerson.
But I mean, he should start.
Why?
It was just a rest. He played in the Europa League on Thursday. When his game was on Sunday, they rotated.
So did the rest of the team, pretty much.
Who else is in your dilemma anyway? Because it might be void anyway.
Okay, Fabian Schär against Fulham away.
Oh, do not play Schär. Oh wait, actually maybe, because just from the fact that because I've actually got Schär on my bench currently and I'm playing Trippier, but that might actually be a mistake because, Joe, you might have the stats on this. You've looked at aerial stats before. What are Fulham like for conceding from corners and set pieces and aerial goals?
No idea. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll find that.
because if they're one of the ones lower down, I think Scher has good heading threat. He has a good.
But then you want Trippier for the set pieces.
No, we don't have Trippier.
Do you not say you had
Oh.
Trippier?
I
No,
have
I
Trippier.
don't.
Right, Joe. If you were me, who would you start, Scher or Trippier?
Well, I mean, if you like set piece threat, you pick Trippier. So
Yeah.
Trippier.
Because you're not guaranteed to have Scher on the other end. It could be Wilson, it could be whatever, but you are guaranteed that Trippier takes the corner on the free kick.
And Trippier's got the set pieces, and he's better at football, so he probably gets more bonus points.
Oh, he does get more bonus. There's been some times when he's got bonus just from a clean sheet, no other shit.
He's
Just 'cause
got
he gets
more.
involved.
He's got more open play threat as well. I think it's fairly clear cut that you'd go for Trippier over Scher.
Headers conceded. Fulham are. Should I rank them? Heading
Best
goals.
in the league.
They are mid-table.
Yeah, irrelevant.
They've conceded as many chances from headers as Arsenal,
Well.
but also the same as Leicester. So take that as.
I've taken nothing from that.
Yeah, which is I think is the right conclusion.
Okay, and then next option is Andres Pereira.
So sorry,
Hold on.
It's Pereira or who? Sorry.
Hold on. I'm gonna start Emerson. I'm gonna do that.
Oh.
But I'm gonna bench because I didn't realise I had Zaha in my 11. I'm benching Zaha against Chelsea.
Oh.
Oh, don't do that.
Why?
Because I reckon he'll do something. I reckon.
He's their talisman. They're at home.
Yeah, I
it's
reckon he'll
Chelsea.
score against Chelsea. You know.
But Chelsea should be good. It's a Potter Chelsea.
To be honest, clip this up. Not that any of us are going to clip this up because we can't be fucked. I know one else is listening to it anyway. But Zaha, he'll score against Chelsea.
Low energy that was.
You really reckon I start so Zaha over Emerson against Wolves?
Zaha's undroppable.
Yeah. You start.
Really?
Yeah, he's
It's
undroppable.
Chelsea, man.
Undroppable.
Chelsea
like
aren't as good as you think.
Zaha's played like 4 games out of the 8 game week so far, and he's like 3rd for XGI among midfielders or something.
And they've played Arsenal, they've played Liverpool. If they played City, they might have played City.
Oh, you've got to play Zaha.
Yeah.
Chelsea have played.
You're starting Emerson ahead of Zaha.
Chelsea play Palace.
Who do West Ham play
regularly.
again?
They play him 2 times a season, and every time I feel like Zaha doesn't do much because we just put Reece James on him down that side. We'll put Reece James down there. We'll put Fofana down there, and we'll just suffocate him. And
This is the Potter Chelsea though. He might try and think he's better than him or something.
No. The other boys will say, "Oh, it's alright. We got Zaha." And they'll just deck him. It'll be done.
Well, to be fair, and that's sort of, I guess it's sort of similar then, but would you recommend I start Fofana this week? 'Cause currently he's firmly on my bench.
No, don't start him.
Yeah. Wow.
So who's going to score for Palace, Baron?
No,
Yeah.
You know, I just think there might be they could be just some sort of cock up or something. You know?
There's so
You're
many
sounding
more.
a lot like Dan right now. I'm not gonna lie. This is. It feels like I'm talking to Dan.
Burnham's now last place in the Good Guys, so it is me. Not that that's good, but you know, Burnham, you've taken my crown. Well done.
I just don't. I see Chelsea could concede. Palace are quite good at home, but I don't think Zaha. Maybe you know Edouard or.
Why are they more likely than Zaha?
Or maybe a Gurhi header, homecoming back to the Chelsea Blues.
I guess that's more likely than Zaha. I mean, involved.
Go on. I actually, we're all in Lancaster. We can
Right.
watch this game.
Let's make it. I think. All right. A better way to put it. You definitely start Zaha ahead of Emerson. Because Emerson, even if he starts, he gets brought off at half time. That's what happened in the last one.
Reece James. Why am I backing Zaha to score when I'm
You're picking who you think is going to get the most points. You think Zaha is probably going to outscore Emerson. Reece James is irrelevant.
No, because I think Reece James will keep a clean sheet.
That's advice.
But then you told me to bench. You told me to bench Fofana.
Yeah, because I think Reece James will get a clean sheet and get some votes. I don't think Fofana. I don't even know if Fofana will start. I think it could be. There's so many defensive options. We don't know who Potter's going to go.
To be fair, Fofana was risky, especially with a new manager. There's just no real way of knowing whether Fofana could start.
But also, actually, if he doesn't start, he's not going to come on. So,
Oh, so that's not involved. Fair play.
He's a centre back. But yeah, I just don't really like. Fofana doesn't give me any threat or any sort of. He's like a 6 point or 2 point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2022. You need threat from your defenders.
So why would you pick Emerson, BV? Do you back him to keep a clean sheet and play more than 60?
So obviously we've talked about Kurt Zouma briefly. I mean, Wolves don't score goals, and I think if Emerson's playing, he's playing at left wing back.
To be fair, I actually quite like the Emerson pick,
and that's just quite a nice.
I like the Zaha pick, and I back Zaha, but I do actually agree with BV that Emerson could be a guy, because to be fair, he has been rested, which means he's more likely to play. If he's at a wing back, West Ham are against Wolves, who are a bit shit. Yeah, I don't think it's bad.
What evidence do you have that he's going to make 60? I don't think he's ever done it.
Yeah, he has.
He's done 45 minutes and he's done 1 minute. Has he done 90 in between?
Yeah, he played in the Europa League.
That's not the Prem.
Wait, let me look him up.
But I definitely wouldn't start him over Zaha, because Zaha's nailed on and he's fucking Wilfred.
If he didn't play for Italy. He got 1 minute. Oh no! So we got 1 minute against Everton last time. He then got 90 minutes in the Europa League Conference game. He then got another 90 minutes in the Europa League Conference game. He then got 90 minutes against Chelsea. He then got 5 minutes against Tottenham and 45 minutes against Villa.
They're playing him in the Europa League games.
But he started the Chelsea game and played 90.
That was a while ago, wasn't it?
3rd of September.
Yes, they've played him in the 2 Europa League games and then benched him in the Prem one, right?
Oh. Yeah, but the Queen died, bro.
He was upset.
This is so like, what? You said that. That's like something I from fucking Arsenal fan TV would say. It's just so matter of fact. Yeah, but the Queen died.
We mustn't forget it's been raining.
No. Oi, actually, look at this. Hold on, he played 90 on the 15th of September. and then the next Prem game was on the 18th of September. So obviously he was going to get a rest.
Yeah, just start him.
Would this content be being discussed on some expert FPL podcast?
No.
I like Zaha.
You also like Emerson, Dan. What would you do?
Oh, Emerson actually scored for West Ham as well, by the way.
I mean, can't you play both, BV?
There's no point.
Wait, playing Emerson and Zaha?
Yeah, can't you just play both?
Yeah, I can do that actually. But it would mean not buying Solanke or benching Solanke against Bournemouth.
I also think, just to throw a spanner in the works, which no one asked for, I think Pereira could outscore either of those two.
I mean, I've got Decavod Reed. What do you think of him?
Yeah, I think you start Decavod Reed.
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh well, there you go.
Even if you buy Mitrovic, Dan, you're going to start Decavod Reed.
I'll start. Well, yeah, because if I don't start currently on my bench, I have, just to educate you. Fuck off, please. I currently have Schur against Fulham away. I've already got Trippier. There's no way I'm doubling up on Newcastle defence against Fulham away. Oh shit! I have Andreas Pereira on the bench, so I could even make a. Nah, I think Decador to Reed. I'm gonna pick Decador to Reed over Andreas Pereira. I think. Do you reckon, Joe? And Phoebe.
No, not really.
Andres Pereira. No, Dan's busy.
Barham starts talking and he left his headphones off.
Wait.
He
I
had
just
someone,
got
he had
called.
someone interrupt him, man.
Yeah. What did
I
you
was
say?
paying
Phoebe?
attention.
What did you say, Phoebe?
I said nothing really, but I just said I was about to start. Anyway, Andres Pereira
Self-conscious now.
No.
was off this guy.
Yeah. I want the Nuggets. What?
Andres Pereira was kicked off of set pieces by William. So that just drastically.
Oh shit! Yeah, Andreas don't. Yeah, a lot of Andreas's threat was actually from set pieces because I remember reading an article like over summer and stuff. All the good bits he was doing, he was actually quite dead in open play, but he was on all the set pieces, so he was conjuring up some shit from there. So.
See, I've found some.
Oh yeah, and the other guy was Neco Williams against Leicester away, and even as a Henderson owner, he's third on my bench. So there's no.
To be fair, do you know? I mean, obviously, that seems like obviously a bad thing. But when I hear Leicester away and I think of an attacking fullback, I remember Trent's 24-pointer against Leicester away, and maybe Neco could replicate something like that. You never know. But I mean, you don't back that. No, what I was going to say was I don't know what I was going to say. God damn it. What was I going to say?
You just said something like maybe you back that. I don't back that. But
I've got it. I've got a couple of sort of, eye test almost, or just extracurricular information about Andreas Pereira. Number one is one that I've mentioned before, is about that effectively open goal he would have had against Arsenal if Cabano wasn't a dumbass. And he would have had a goal, which obviously wouldn't register in the stats. So that's a Pereira goal, which we never had. And also a second piece, I read up on, because I was, looking at sort of transfers I could potentially make. I was looking up the match ratings in like the Fulham game and sort of the explanations on who got what or whatever. And they did a sort of mini piece on Pereira and on how he's so much better at home than away. Like he like goes missing in away games, like he almost gets scared. But in the home games, he's really like on it, and he looks to dictate the play and really create and be effective. And when I looked at what he's done when he scored his points, it's been in the two home games that weren't Liverpool. So I really quite like him for Newcastle this week. I think it all lines up for him to do okay.
At home and away.
What? Sorry, BB?
You always knew that Fulham were a different beast at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, as in, does the part where he's missing, or he comes alive at home, is that from open play, not from set pieces?
I mean, can he come alive from a set piece?
I don't know. It could just be more involved, more. They win more set pieces, so he takes more free kicks, and he's just active more.
Maybe.
Away they do.
You might be right, but I don't know. I took that to mean general activity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, and it's still relevant because it's Fulham attackers, like including whether it's Mitrovic or the Fulham attacker you're looking at, and you're comparing them to someone else, even against fixtures. They've got Newcastle at home and then West Ham away. But then, of course, game week 11 was what we were talking about already for when they have great fixtures, because then they have Bournemouth at home, Villa at home, Leeds away, Everton at home. I mean, that's just, do you know what I mean?
Apart from the fact I don't like that noise very much, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
All you need to do is throw Leicester in there. And
yeah, right. Boys, I'm not gonna lie, it's getting a little late. And I'm gonna look to go to bed very soon. So do you mind if we wrap it up? I've realised I was the one to start recording, so I can't really dip. And
what's your eye test?
Well, I sort of mentioned the Pereira thing. That was my main sort of scoop information with that, reading through the match rating type stuff. I know that Leon Bailey was piss poor in the game that they had last week, which is a bit of a shame, obviously, as a Leon Bailey owner. Because he was looking, obviously he scored against like Man City, and so I thought he'd worked his way back in the team, maybe start showing that pre-season form again, and then apparently he was just rubbish in their last game. So that's something that I've learned about Leon Bailey. I also learned that Miguel Almiron, when I looked through his match ratings for that game, absolutely dire end product, which is sort of something we've linked with Almiron for a while, but his pre-season form was great. Like, he got 6 goals and 2 assists. Like, he conjured them up from somewhere. So I thought maybe he could relight the fire, but yeah, he was back to his same old self.
We
So
didn't start the fire.
that's it, yeah. So Almiron, it's not an eye test because I didn't watch the game, but it's a fact that
I
isn't
hate
in
when
the
you say
stats.
that. You
It's
say
a
that
fact.
every
It's a
single
fact
time
that isn't
we
in the
get to the eye
stats.
test part.
Did I watch any of the games last week?
Yeah, I didn't think I watched anything because
Oh, I watched the Arsenal game.
I work anti-social hours. Like it feels like I'm just saying this excuse to the fucking audience directly.
I watched.
This is almost shambolic, but it's almost so shambolic it's content on the podcast. BV, when I come up to Lancaster, of course, we can watch the Leicester Forest game, even though I don't want to. If I'm not working on Sunday, we can watch the derby.
Which one?
Well, I'd have to come up quite early on Sunday.
Spurs Arsenal.
No, the Manchester derby's on Sunday.
Oh, big derbies.
And I own Cancelo.
You own him. I don't know why when you said that it sounded like slavery rather than FPL.
Yeah, but he's white.
That wasn't needed. Oh,
yeah, that's just a little, No, we got
of white slave.
No, that's clearly satire.
Is Dan learning about the concept of modern slavery?
It's clear satire, which is also being uploaded.
You answered so quickly.
What? Now you're just saying, are you trying to get me cancelled in the future? You're protesting me. Oh no.
I think we'll all get cancelled now.
I've got a rap.
Let's wrap this up.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I can't remember what the games were, whether I watched them. Yeah, I didn't watch any of them.
Okay, Dan?
I didn't watch anything. Joe, you've already been.
No, I watched the Arsenal game.
Anything.
I watched the Arsenal game. Defensively, they absolutely stifled Brentford. They had nothing to offer. Brentford did in that game. I don't know what Brentford's XG was in the end, but it can't have been. Well, it won't have been anything. Arsenal nullified them, kept possession, pinned them back in the final third. It was like I'm watching a Man City game, to be honest. And not only people do that to Brentford. So yeah, Arsenal were massively impressive. They were utterly imperious in that game. There was nothing.
Oh, nice word.
Thank you. So yeah, big fan of Arsenal. In terms of particular assets that impressed me, I'm not sure. It's almost like the Man City attack in a way that the returns sort of seemed like they could have come from anywhere. Usual suspects are likely to be your Martinellis, your Sakas, and your Jesus. But as shown, Vieira popped up with a goal, Xhaka with an assist.
I fucking love Saka, man.
What, sorry, BD?
Saka versus Martinelli. What?
Well, I have a personal love affair with Saka.
He was asking me. I watched the game.
Go and think about what you just said, and then come back.
Yeah.
When you're not cancelled.
Think about whether we care about that, and then say it again. Right.
But
Shut up. In that game, Saka looked a bit more threatening, to be honest. I think Martinelli, they didn't use the left-hand side as much as they did the right. And things that were being created from the left tended to come from the left foot of Granit Xhaka rather than the cutting inside of Gabriel Martinelli. So, yeah, Saka was a bit more penetrative, but Martinelli's cheaper and he's producing good numbers, so I wouldn't, move him on for Saka or anything. But, yeah, Saka looked decent.
Of course he did. It breaks my heart. I sold him.
I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care. Right, let's end it.
End it there.
Right, thanks for watching, everyone. See you next
Yeah,
time.
it's been a
Oh,
pleasure.
wait. Where's our little outro song?
Oh yeah, I'll get that up. I'll pop it up.
Let's just kill a bit of time whilst Dan gets it.
And
Uh,
obviously,
You gonna
my
watch any of the
slavery
games this
joke
weekend,
was
Joe?
satire, viewers.
You
But
don't have to break it back.
Are you gonna watch any of the games this weekend, guys?
well,
We talk about. Yeah,
I-
Keep getting the outro up.
I don't
Keep
want to
getting the
watch.
outro.
I don't
Joe,
want to watch
Joe, what are you
the.
watching?
I hope I'm not in work on Saturday.
Thank
No, Sunday. I'm
Um,
definitely working Saturday
I-
because I want to watch the derby. Anyway, go on, Joe.
Thank you. I care a lot about this Fulham Newcastle game.
It's just that for a second. Go on, Joe.
There you go, son. Adios.
Yeah, Fulham Newcastle.
Bye.
All right.